towards the end of October, will a major heat wave be in store? And with it, will that bring a chance for severe weather? And on the backside of that, will there be a chance for a major winter storm that could dump lots of heavy snow? Or will that winter storm be a bust? I'm also tracking a major hurricane down in the Pacific, and will that have major impacts on our weather pattern coming up? I'll be breaking that down in this video. Alright y'all, welcome back to Williams Weather. You can see we're looking at the 3-day severe weather outlook by the Storm Prediction Center. We'll start off on Friday. Not much severe weather going on at all. Day 2, there's a thunderstorm risk spanning from New Mexico all the way up into Washington here in the green. But it really gets interesting on Sunday as there is a marginal risk issued from Kansas all the way up through Minnesota, northeast Kansas, central to western Iowa, southeastern Nebraska, and central to southern Minnesota is affected by this, with just general thunderstorm risks surrounding that from Texas all the way up through Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. Now your 4 to 8 day outlook, not much going on as far as that either, but we will be breaking down this marginal risk here in a little bit. Let's look at your 6 to 10 day temperature and precipitation. It looks like out east in the reds and the oranges, looks like there is a chance for above average temperatures. In the white here, in the central part of the U.S., looks like it's going to be normal as far as temperatures go. In southern Texas, looks like y'all are going to be above average. But out west, looks like y'all are going to be way below average as far as temperatures go. As you see, there could be a major trough and ridging pattern going on, but we will look at that as well in your near and long-term forecast coming up. 8 to 14 day outlook, looks like there's going to be a major pattern shift as the 8 to 14 day outlook by the Weather Prediction Center says that there will be above average temperatures all the way from the plains out east and on the northeast in the Florida, Texas. Way below average temperatures over here in western Colorado all the way up through Idaho in the blue here. As far as precipitation goes, the next 6 to 10 days in the green here, y'all are going to be above average as far as precip goes, spanning from southern New York all the way down into Florida, all the way over into eastern Louisiana through Dixie Alley. And there's also another one over here in the northwest as well, spanning from Washington all the way down into Colorado. Looks like it will be way below normal in Texas, all the way over into Arizona in the orange and the reds here. 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, just about really the same. Now your below average precip, as far as that goes, looks like that has expanded more north through the plains. Northwest looks about the same in the green, it's above average. The whites are normal. We'll go ahead and look at the excessive rainfall outlook real quick. Not much as far as excessive rainfall goes within the next 3 days. Let's look at the winter severity index. It looks like there is a potential winter storm over here. Could be ramping up out in the northwestern states from Montana all the way down into Colorado and Utah. Basically, those mountain states are going to be getting some snow from what this looks like. We'll go take a look at your drought real quick. Alright, let's look at the drought monitor here. Looks like much of the country is in this drought. Extreme drought down here in Plains, in Kansas, and Oklahoma. Extreme drought for y'all. Southern California is an extreme drought. The West is in a drought. Moderate drought. Indiana's abnormally dry. Kentucky's moderate, has a moderate drought. Tennessee. Looks like much of the country is dealing with this pesky drought. Looks like the 6 to 10 days is saying there will be a relief out here in the northwest, over here as well, and in the Ohio Valley in the Midwest. There is no drought in Pennsylvania, New York, Richmond, Virginia area in the northeast. Now, it looks like we have Tropical Storm Rosalind. Wind speeds of 65 mile an hour. Max gust of 75. And it looks like it's heading west-northwest. And it looks like it will turn into a Category 2 hurricane by the 22nd with wind speeds of 100 mile an hour. Max gust of 120 before weakening down into a Category 1 as it makes landfall on the 23rd with wind speeds of 80 mile an hour and max gust of 100. Now, this could play a role in our upcoming weather pattern. Could head northeast and really churn northeast into Indiana. But we'll look at that in the near and long-term forecast. And is there any more hurricanes out there? Let's go look right quick. There's nothing really in the Atlantic. We'll go ahead and break down the weather models for the near and long-term forecast. We'll look at the severe weather threat and the potential winter storm out west. See, there are already winter storm warnings that are already issued. We'll look at the near and long-term forecast here. We'll start with the jet stream. This is what determines weather patterns. Warm air, cool air, your rain, snow, anything like that. Push us forward here as there will be a trough that's going to be setting up Sunday before that severe weather threat starts to amp up in the central plains from northeast Kansas all the way through Minnesota, as there's already a marginal risk issued for that area. Now, if you're in that area, please be weather aware and where to go when that severe weather strikes. But anyways, we'll move forward here. Sunday night. And I think the timing will be from, I'm going to put a guess on this. We'll look at the composite reflectivity and the simulated radar here after a bit to see if I'm correct. But I'm thinking the time frame will be Sunday night into the early morning hours of Monday. Forward here, as there is a bowling ball trough projection right here, which I think that's that hurricane that slammed into Mexico on the 23rd. Going to come up and hit that trough, and it's going to start spinning. Put this in motion here, I'll show you. It'll start spinning towards in Missouri, towards Illinois, through northwest Indiana into Michigan, bringing potential for severe weather along with it. And then another bowling ball trough ejection. This is not associated with any hurricane, and it'll be going through the Ohio Valley Midwest area with another trough and ridge action by Halloween. Looks like it's going to be warm for much of the plains Southwest and in Dixie Alley down here in Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. But it's going to be awfully cool up here in the Northeast and Ohio Valley in Michigan area. That was in motion again as we head towards the beginning of November. We'll have another weather pattern of a trough and ridge action again. So we got a ridge here from down here in Texas all the way through Nebraska in the Southwest and the Southeast. Another trough up here. Now we'll go ahead and look at your 500 millibar height anomalies. Blue blobs and red blobs. Red blobs associated with good weather. Blue blobs are associated with bad weather and cold weather this time of year. In the motion here, we got some red blobs out in the Ohio Valley and Northeast. And a big purple blob out west here in the Northwest. That's associated with some cool air. Possible snow too. Could be getting some snowstorms over there. Just in the motion here. Looks like we're going to have a trough and ridge action here. And cold air is going to be fighting with the warm air. And that's going to generate some severe weather and winter storms along with it. In the motion again. Have that potential hurricane coming up. Low depression turn into some storms for Illinois and Missouri by the 26th. So we could have some severe weather midweek next week. Goes in motion again. And another bowling ball trough ejection. The blue blob, Missouri again by the 29th. With some nice weather in store for the plains to start off November. Now the blue blob rolling through. Alright, let's go ahead and look at your temperatures. Off on Friday. Looks like it's going to be cool for the northeast, eastern part of the U.S. Warm for the plains. Hot down here in the desert southwest. Put this in the motion here. Cold nights. Looks like we'll start warming up. Really, really hot in the central plains, the southern plains. Now, the temperatures are down here. This bar here. This is all in Fahrenheit, not in Celsius. We only measure Celsius in the sea surface temperatures. Date and time are over here. This is all in Z time. Put a chart up somewhere on the screen here on Z time. If y'all are confused on that. 00Z is 8 o'clock the day before. This is basically what they use on new model runs. So this is the 22nd, 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Now this plays a role in the severe weather too on Sunday at about 7 o'clock or so. Right here is definitely fuel for some severe weather. It'll be nice temperatures for everybody. Everybody's going to be enjoying their day. Fun in the sun. Like Chris over there in his Speedo and his Cheetos. He's going to be enjoying his day. And then severe weather rolls through. Really doesn't cool down much till Monday afternoon. We have that cold front come through. So I'm saying that earlier. I predict that the severe weather threat will be happening Sunday night into early Monday morning. You see, we have a cold front coming through on Monday afternoon after the severe weather passes, and that will cool much of the country down by the end of next week. And we go from really, really hot back to cold again in the east. Northwest states look like you're all going to be pretty frigid up there. April 29th here, it'll be cold again. Really cold in the mountain states. Again by the 31st. This is 8 o'clock on Halloween. So for trick or treat, I'll be doing the trick or treat forecast in the next video. So be prepared for that. We'll have a trick or treat forecast for the kiddos. If you're an adult that likes trick or treating, then go for it. Y'all get any candy, you'll probably get a swift kick in the butt. It looks like it will be pretty cool. We're in Ohio Valley, pretty warm in the plains. Texas is going to be a good night for trick or treating. Florida's a good night. Trick or treating. Northwest is, bundle up for trick or treating. Southwest and California, y'all gonna be good for trick or treating. As far as temperatures go, as we push off into November, looks like we're gonna be starting off warm down there in the Ohio Valley. Midwest, Northeast is gonna be cool. Northwest is gonna be really cold. It looks like we have a battle of the seasons happening. Cold and warm and cold and warm. And this is the second season of severe weather. Let's go ahead and look at your dew points. Alright, let's look at your dew points here. Let's see. Has some dew points creeping up from the Gulf down there in southern Texas, down there in the 60s. But it's in the motion here by Sunday afternoon. GFS is saying that dew points down there in southern Texas are going to be in the 60s. Severe weather threat is right here in northeast Kansas all the way up through Minnesota. And looks like y'all going to be in the 50s as far as dew points go. Still relatively high for this time of year, and that's definitely ample conditions for severe weather development is dew points, moisture. By Monday morning, by around midnight or so, high dew points again. We're heading up from the Gulf of Mexico into Missouri, bringing some humid air, nice air, everybody. The muggy meter is going to be kind of there for y'all. Louisiana is going to be in the upper 60s, mid to upper 60s as far as dew points go for Tuesday. Looks like the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the South, Northeast are going to be getting some high dew points along with the warm temperatures. So y'all gonna be fun in the sun and enjoying your days. We push this off in towards the beginning of November. Let's go ahead and look at the simulated radar. As you see in the northwest, we got a major winter storm over here in Montana, Idaho, into Washington by Saturday morning. This could dump lots of heavy snow, possibly a feet of snow to 2 feet there in the mountains. A major snowstorm in Montana by Saturday night. Down here in Utah and Colorado, looks like a major winter storm is gonna happen this weekend out west into the mountain states. Rain showers in the lower elevations. Higher elevations will have lots more snow. That snowstorm will trek east through Sunday afternoon. It looks like we have that bowling ball trough ejection right here, bowling ball low. 1,000 millibar low down here in Texas. That's going sure northeastward. Possibly have a squall line with that. I will look at the NAM 3 kilometer to break down the severe weather threat for Sunday, as this really doesn't show all that much. We rewind this real quick. You see the severe weather threat spans from northeast Kansas through Minnesota. It really don't show much. It looks like on the backside of this bowling ball low pressure system here, the 25th, looks like there could be accumulating snow behind it. Severe weather threat on the eastern side right here in eastern Texas by the 25th, early morning hours of 25th. Possible squall line, possible QLCS. We'll be tracking this on Williams Weather Facebook page, and I will keep y'all updated on there. The severe weather does validate. It looks like this could be a multi-day severe weather event if this verifies. Now, of course, anything can happen between now and Tuesday. As of now, be prepared. It looks like it heads northeastward into Canada by the 28th. We got more snow out west. The northeast state's gonna be getting lots of rain. Maine by Friday, as we have another low pressure system rain event by the 3rd of November. Another snow event out in the northwest as we wrap up end of October into early November. More snow out in the northwest, and looks like it's gonna be pretty dry. As far as Halloween goes, looks like the northeast states, looks like y'all gonna be rained out. Like southern New York, y'all gonna be okay to trick or treat. Looks like the Ohio Valley, Midwest, and the plains, looks like y'all gonna be okay to trick or treat. It's not gonna be wet. Northwest states, y'all gonna be getting snowed on. It looks like it's gonna be a pretty good trick or treat day, but anything can change between now and the next video. In the next video, I will have a trick or treat forecast out, like I said earlier. Please be on the lookout for that. Let's take a look at your wind gusts. Looks like we're in for a windy ride here. Wind gusts of 50 mile an hour up in Wyoming. There's already winter storm warnings up here in the northwest states, as we will show you. The National Weather Service hazards here. There are winter storm warnings in effect. Central to eastern Montana, northwest South Dakota, and southwest North Dakota. Eastern and southern Wyoming is in that as well. Winter storm watches issued for Nevada. We already have red flag warnings here from north central Indiana, southern Indiana, to central to western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and southeastern Missouri. So don't be burning anything out there and cause some wildfire. Winter storm watches warnings are already issued ahead of that. Go back to the models here. Show you the wind gusts, then I'll show you the snow depth, and then we'll break down the severe weather threat. This is the motion here. We'll have a windy start of the month. 50 mile an hour winds out west. 50 mile an hour winds in the Oklahoma area. Jeez. About 50 mile an hour winds in the plains as well, as that trough comes through by Sunday night to Monday morning, bringing that cold front. What I'm saying is going to be a Sunday night into a Monday morning event. We'll look at that in the NAM 3 kilometer coming up. Looks like it's going to be a windy into October as the seasons start to battle. All right, we'll look at the snow depth real quick for 10 inches for the mountain states in Montana by Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. 2 inches for the lower elevations. Higher snow totals in the higher elevations as well by Monday afternoon. Possibly 5 to 10 inches as well down here in Colorado. The upper elevations could see higher snow totals. The motion again. Some snow down in Texas. That was that snow, that low pressure system I was showing. Behind that, there's a snowstorm in the head of that could be the severe weather threat. It could dump some accumulating snow in northern Texas, so please be prepared for that. By Tuesday afternoon, looks like the northwest is going to get hammered by snow into the west. The mountain states making lots of snow. It's going to be good for those ski slopes. If you're a ski lover, like I said, if you're a ski lover, then go out there and enjoy that snowpack. And we'll look at the other models here to see what other models are showing as far as snowfall. Now the Euro model by Saturday night, and about 4 inches or so in lower higher elevations. Now we could see upwards of, the Euro is kind of underplaying the snow threat, about 3 to 6 on average, give or take inches. And we'll look at the Canadian model here. Now this is showing more snow for Montana, 3 to 4 inches up there. So I want to give it 5 to 10 inches on average over here out west, higher as you go up the mountain. Now the blend of models is showing, this one's saying about 6 to 12. I'm going to give it 5 to 10. 5 to 10 inches of snow possible in Montana. Now if you live in Montana, please send some snow pictures to the Williams Weather Facebook page or at McCall's Weather on Twitter. I'd like to see some snow pictures. Y'all measuring the snow out there. Okay, we'll go ahead and break down the severe weather potential for Sunday. Coming from northeast Kansas all the way through Minnesota. We put this into motion here. As we put this into motion here, we're going to start off at 8 o'clock in the morning. Here looks like not much happening yet. That big snowstorm out west, dumping 5 to 10 inches of snowfall in the mountains. Our warm air's been over this area, prime, bright severe weather conditions. Like we have some clusters of storms Sunday night into Monday morning as the severe weather threat spans from northeast Kansas all the way through Minnesota. See, it could be a multicellular event. And it looks like as soon as that pulls through, it looks like backside could be getting some cold air and possible snow up there in the Dakotas after that. Go from severe weather event to snow. You see snow showers here in northwest Nebraska and severe weather threat over here in northwest Iowa by Monday morning. It's about midnight or so. I'll show you a sounding real quick. This is a marginal severe weather threat. Minor wind shear, it curves. If you want to see a tornado threat, you definitely want to see a curvature in the atmosphere. You got a sounding right here. Not as much CAPE, not as much EML, elevated mixed layer. Definitely want an elevated mixed layer if you want severe weather, because that's what opens up the cloud base and provides the instability. Lets the sun come out, heat the atmosphere, makes it unstable, and that's what really fires up those storms. You need CAPE, you need wind shear, instability, and moisture for severe weather development. And lift. You need lift in the atmosphere as well. And we do got some sustainable wind shear down at the lower levels. We don't know the severe weather threats just yet. I think it's going to be a low end hail and wind threat. I think tornadoes pretty much not really much of a risk. But there have been some days where, Florida, for example, last week, there were tornado warnings down there, and there wasn't even a threat for tornadoes. Please be weather aware on Sunday if you live in these areas in the green here, from northeast Kansas, all the way up into Minnesota. Now, I'll keep y'all updated on the Williams Weather Facebook page. If anything changes, this updates to a slight risk, or anything happens, or if this just doesn't verify, then I will let y'all know on Williams Weather. Mr. Boner back here, that story will have to wait till next week. Our rumor is he ran away. Or put your comments below what you think happened to him. Do you think he ran away? You think he got kidnapped? You think he's on our front porch with a Speedo on and a beer can in his hand, acting like Chris? Find out in the Halloween video next weekend. We replaced him with a little pumpkin back here. Pumpkino, we'll call him Pumpkino back here. But if you like the comment, please hit that like button. Helps the content out, helps the channel out. Comment below if you like the content. And please subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video, and never stop forecasting.